afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. Back with you again with the first of this week's reviews. We're in Turkey, and this is Trabzon Airport in Turkey, Lima Tango Charlie Golf. This is a new payware scenery by Scenery TR, and you're looking at version 1, the release version for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. The download comes in at 929 meg and it installs at 2.2 gigs. It's currently available from SimMarket and it's priced at €14.99, which equates to roughly $16.26 US or £12.81 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates based on the euro, and they do include tax or VAT, which of course may vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. So let's look at the features. We have detailed virtual replica of the airport buildings, custom ground textures, detailed markings on the ground as well, custom airport vehicles and static objects, animations and effects, enhanced surroundings, and high definition PBR textures and custom night textures all used as well. You can see from this shot they've gone to town here. It really does look quite a pleasant place in a stunning location, and pretty soon we'll have a close look at it. But first, some history. So history: Trabzon Airport, Lima Tango Charlie Golf, is a public use international airport owned and operated by the General Directorate of State Airports Authority in Turkey. The airport is located towards the east of the city of Trabzon, around 3.7 miles or 6 kilometers on the Black Sea shore area of the country. Trabzon Airport first opened in 1957 and was then renovated in 2008. By 2009 it had served over 1.5 million passengers, of which some 95% were travelling on domestic routes. That same year, Trabzon Airport ranked 9th for total passenger traffic and 7th for domestic traffic among the airports in Turkey. The airport has separate domestic and international terminals. The domestic terminal is a newly constructed building that was opened for passengers in 2008 after the renovations, and it has an annual capacity of 2 million passengers. International terminal was built previously in 1998 with an annual capacity of 1.5 million passengers. Currently some 18 airlines operate into and out of the airport, including Air Arabia, Anadolu Jet, Fly Dubai, Gulf Air, Pegasus Airlines, which is the country's low-cost carrier, and Turkish Airlines, the country's flag carrier. So as you can see, this is a stunning airport in a really equally stunning location, and they've done a real job on this, as we'll see. It's a really nice little airport at quite an attractive price. But to begin with, let's look at runways. So runways, as you can see, we've lowered the lighting. It's 5:20 in the afternoon local time. Trabzon Airport operates a single runway, 1129, measuring 8,661 feet or 2,640 meters, and is constructed on a paved runway surface. The airport lies at an elevation of 105 feet or 32 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 3 hours time zone. Now, Turkey does not observe daylight saving time or DST, and so currently remains 3 hours ahead of the UK. So runway 11, and we're looking down the throat of it now, features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system version 2, short field lighting, which you can see here, touchdown zone lighting, runway end identifier lighting system and precision approach path indicators on the left side. So what we can see here, pretty much everything is as it should be. You've got the centre line, you've got the high intensity airfield lighting, PAPI's on the left, the short field lighting, and somewhere down there you should be able to see, let's actually move in and have a closer look. Well, actually the touchdown zone lighting is missing. You should see the lighting here, either side of the centre line up to a certain point. Touchdown zone lighting is missing. So that's the only thing that's missing, everything else is there. Okay, this runway has features an ILS or localizer Y and Z approach options. So you've got an ILS with two options here. No RNPs or VORs that we can see, although there is unspecified approach options with a VOR or NDB approach available. So let's have a quick look at the other end, runway 29. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 29, and 29 features high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system, just the standard version, short field lighting, which again we can see in front of us here, runway end identifier lights, and the PAPIs on the left. So the only thing that's missing from both ends of this runway is the, well, in fact you've only got touchdown zone lighting at the runway 11 end. It's not listed on the chart for this end, so this end here is almost completely as it should be. You're just missing the touchdown zone lighting at the other end. Approach options for runway 29, you have localizer Z and Y approach options for this runway as well. Now if you check the charts, you'll also, as I mentioned before, you'll also see there are VOR A or NDB A, B and C approach options. They're listed as unspecified, which basically means that they're depending on certain runways and certain conditions. So those are on the charts. So the runways are pretty much as they should be, except for the touchdown zone lighting missing at the runway 11 end. So that does it for runways. No jetways at this airport, so let's get on to back to the daytime and have a main tour, as it were. Okay, so welcome back. We're going to start the main tour now, and we're going to go east to west. You've got the runway 29 threshold up there towards us in the distance. I'm starting here because I just want to show you the level of detail that's been put into this. So let's start a little run westwards rather. As you can see, some nice buildings. Some are default, but there has been some work. They've terraformed the coastline there, as you can see. And there to the left you've got the road and signage and lights. Here they come into a bit of 3D work. Footbridges there. There's the runway and the turning area to the right hand side. But really looks really beautiful the way this has been done. The 3D roads, beautiful placement of trees. And the runway, terrain, texturing all looks really, really nice. And there you can see some really nice buildings. So as we approach the airport proper, fuel farm down there to the left. And again, as you can see, the frame rate is excellent. It's all pretty fluid. Let's go down a bit lower. Fire station there on the left. There's the snow base. You've got the entrance to the airport as well. The ground markings are excellent. There's my aircraft parked. And as you can see, it looks lovely. They've done a lovely job on it. Terminal there with the name on the building. There's the control tower, various buses and clutter. That's just past the domestic terminal that we just passed there. And here you've got more buildings and clutter, some smoke coming out of a building, top chimney stack there. It all looks pretty nice. And you've got this really staggering view. It is very, very nice indeed. Okay, a little bit of photo ground there, and of course you've got photo vehicles here and there. But doesn't this look really nice? Even as you go off the airport slightly, they've done a bit of work here too. Football field below us. It's lovely. It's very, very nice. So as we head out across the road, let's go landside and have a look at the situation landside. Let's slow this down a little bit. There you've got various footbridges crossing the roads. And they've even put road signs there, even on the photoreal ground and that's been nicely done, and you've got people down there too, which we'll look at closely in a bit, but this has all been beautifully done. And this is the international terminal, the one that's far eastern, and the whole thing looks very, very nice indeed. Some beautiful buildings on the right there. Here's your airport entrance. It's impressive. It's very, very impressive. Some lovely texturing, a very nice quality. Okay, so here we are on the main airside ramp during the daytime. This is what you pilots will be interested in, and it looks lovely. It really does look good. Just a quick view across the ramp there. So just a couple of shots outside the main airside terminals, and you can see the modelling is really excellent. It's crisp and clear, foliage looks good. That's the VIP building, and as you can see, the signage there, even close up, is pretty clear. And here you can see the international arrivals. You go through the doors there into the terminal, got a couple of figures standing there, which is nice. And the transfers part there, and the terminal looks really nice. It's been very nicely weathered, and you've got an engineer dressed in a yellow there as well, or a baggage loader I should say. Again, animated flags, another nice touch. The foliage looks good too, it's very detailed. And a close-up look at the sign here, all written in Turkish. As you can see, we're really close and it's still perfectly clear. International departures exit, and as you can see, got a couple of people there, some of which are animated, which is nice. Just a shot of the control tower, and there to the right is the domestics building. You got some buses and bits and pieces here. Let's have a look at the tower. So the tower looks really good, really crisp, nicely done and weathered, and you've got a couple of animated controllers inside. Let's pop in. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So here's the domestic terminal, and already you can see inside there's development, and you've got animated passengers, which we'll look at shortly. And there's the other end of the building, got some more clutter on the ground there. And again, we've got animated flags and various bits and pieces there. I mean, the whole thing looks really nice. It's been very well done and nicely tidied up. So let's go into the domestic terminal airside and have a look at those passengers. Okay, so here we are looking out at one end, and you can see you've got slight animations there. And once again, I'll make the point, you know, we've got animations here, but there's no impact on the frame rate or the motion of the drone camera. So let's have a little quick tour of this part here. As you can see, it looks quite nice. It's simplified, but it looks good. Got some passengers moving around, bits and pieces. Let's have a look at this sign. Again, we go up really close and it's still really clear. And there you've got some passenger animations at the other end. So as you can see, there are 3 levels with passengers and bits and pieces on each of the levels. Let's look at the lower level. And this is really nice. Animated passengers. Look at the sign behind it. It changes. And there are a few of these sort of changing advertising hoardings dotted around landside and airside, which again is a nice touch. So once again, some people inside. One guy with some baggage there. And this all looks really nice. Just a quick tour. So people in various stages of movement, some animated, some not. But it all looks great. And once again, your check-in desks also. They're not manned, but you've got the computers all working there, which is great. So we have a look inside the very top of the building. Here you've got some shops. Okay, the shop signs here are slightly lower resolution, so it doesn't quite work so well when you're up this close. But again, there you can see right across the sort of forecourt, as it were, a couple of passengers. It looks fine. And in the other direction, lots of little bits for you to explore and see whether you like it or not. So here you've got the international terminal that we looked at a moment ago. Let's look inside and see if there's any development. Okay, so here we are inside the international terminal. As you can see, this one hasn't really been developed. But outside the terminal, here for example, you've got animated passengers, a really nice looking outside of the building. And yeah, just a little bit of activity. It just gives it atmosphere and ambience, which is what I like. And here's a high level shot overview, and as you can see, the attention to detail is really nice. Weathering on the building, particularly on the roof here. All of the roads 3D modelled, vehicles nicely parked in their slots, road signs, a couple of taxis, all of this just to add the ambience. And once again, as you can see, the odd passenger there, okay, they're only static, and you get up close here and it does tend to fade a little bit, but it just makes the place, it just brings it alive a bit. So they've not done the inside of this terminal, but they've done enough around the outside to make it worthwhile. As far as I'm concerned, excellent. And a quick look across the same place from the other direction, it all looks pretty nice. So here's the security gate. It's where you will go through a security check to go get entrance to airside for vehicles and personnel. So let's move along to the domestic terminal landside. There you can see more activity down there. And once again, we have a nice little bit of activity landside of the terminal here. So we've got a nice little scene landside of the domestic terminal there, some people, taxis, various signage, and we've got nice little pot plants and crocuses in front of us here. And there's a shot just lower down showing you the lower level where the arrivals would come out. There you've got some coaches, kind of low resolution coaches, but they've designed them in such a way that it looks as though there's some people inside them. It's all really pleasant. And there's another overview showing you looking towards the threshold of runway 11 there. You've got the motorway going out into the distance, and they've signed it and they've got bridges over it. Okay, they've left it to kind of like photoreal here rather than going to 3D. But yeah, it's fine. Animated flags, the buildings all look really nice. I mean, the whole area, to be honest, is very impressive. This is an airport to fly into and enjoy. And looking back across the other direction, it's just nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so there was a quick tour daytime looking at the terminals and the airside ramp and the various interesting bits and pieces. Let's turn the light down to dusk now and see what the lighting's like. Okay, 5:35 PM. The lighting actually just came on about 4 minutes ago, and here we are at dusk, and you can see blue airfield edge lights, green sand taxiway lights, so you not have a problem getting to the stands. Some nice subtle lighting along here, which really does the job, works really well, and yeah, it just looks nice. And looking the other direction, there's the domestic terminal here, which you've got some lighting there, and you've got these various buildings here, all with a bit subtle lighting. So look at some of the taxiway signage, the yellow signs, you can see perfectly acceptable. And there you've got the red runway signs. No wigwags and no stop bar lights, but that's fine. So just a little tour along this building at night time. As you can see, it looks great. The downlighting looks lovely. It's been nicely done. And there you can see the lighting towards the runways there as well, everything you need. And we move out to the threshold of runway 11. Again, taxiway signage is just as you need it, and here it looks like we've got wigwags. Have we got wigwags? Yes, we have. Let's get a close-up. And there you are. Very nice. Very, very nice. So here we are on the ramp as the international terminal, and you can see the lighting is just very pleasant. Let's get a close-up of the terminal. So quite nice. Remember, this is the terminal that was not developed inside, but the lighting is really pleasant. Makes it look just nice. It's a bit simplified. It's not Pride Tampa or anything like that, but it is a nice airport. To the level of detail that they've done is just wonderful. I mean, look at the weathering on the building here. It's great. It looks lovely. No complaints at all. Very nice. So here's the control tower building. As you can see, some parallaxing here on the windows that makes it look pretty realistic. Nice lighting, including the top light, and there you've got the switching sign again, which is a feature I quite like about this. I love this sort of thing. Let's look inside the tower. Yep, some nice lighting. The screens are lit, and you've got these two animated guys there. The view out through the glass is a bit is really not terribly good, but there you go. So here you've got the domestic arrivals building, and you can see some interior lighting gives a really nice effect, certainly from outside. I mean, that's pretty nice. I quite like that. It really does. Airports like this really do come to life in the darkness hours when the guys take the time to really work on it. It's great. And just to look back across the ramp, I mean, that's a nice scene. It really is. So here's the view from inside the flight deck when you park up on this stand in front of the international terminal. It's great. It's really pleasant. It looks quite realistic. No complaints at all, really. And the view from the captain's side. And looking out across the first officer's window. Very, very nice. And in case you're interested, here's a look out through the window across the wing. This is a passenger view. It looks very nice. And looking out the other side. So just an overview of this part of the airport there. It looks great. It really does. Let's have a look landside. So here we are, landside of the domestic terminal. Oh, it looks pretty reasonable. The only thing that spoils this is the Asobo globes floating around all over the place. But not every developer knows how to get rid of these. So, you know, I'll give them that. But no, it's fine. You know, this is okay. It's not the best in the world. But, you know, they've done a reasonable job. What they have done to enhance the terminal, taxis, people, cars, beautiful fauna here. All of this enhances this and adds to the ambience, even though perhaps the parallax modelling isn't as great as you'd like it to be. I mean, if this was high resolution images on here, would make a big difference. But you know, it's not a criticism. You know, the modelling is excellent. Here you got the buses, okay, they're fairly simplified, but they've even gone to the lengths of adding some parallaxing there so it looks as though they're occupied. There's the international terminal. Again, the scene is lovely. The way this has been modelled, and the little trees and the foliage all over the place, the taxis, various cars, a couple of people, just makes the ambience, it just gives it a certain level of ambience and beauty, which is really enjoyable. And while we're here, landside, you can see all of these different buildings here. I mean, ignore the vehicles, I've just got the vehicles turned up. But you've got beautiful structures like this, and all of this going along the top. Again, just adds to the beauty of this whole place. And you've got various street lights here lighting up the road. It's great. It really is nice. No complaints. So let's travel back airside. There's the security point below us. The little red lights on top of the structures there. Here we've got the snow base. And there you've got various vehicles. There's the fire station complete with the tenders. And here you've got the fuel farm. Again, some subtle lighting. Nothing overdone. Nothing fantastic, but it works. It just works. It's lovely. And here, look, there's a petrol station landside that they've worked on, which is excellent. I mean, that is nice. Very simplified, but you know, they've done it. It needn't have, but they've done it. And there's one of the footbridges. And there you've got an overview of the airport there, and you can see the wigwag lighting, which is excellent. So just quick pass over the runway. You can see the taxiway signs. I just want to have a quick look at this area up here. You've got a lighthouse down there to the right, but unfortunately it's not been lit. You've got some lighting, but it's not been lit in the way that you would expect a lighthouse to be lit. But this all looks pleasant. Little bits and pieces here. You've got this little cove, harbour if you will. So here's the lighthouse. Yeah, it looks better close up, but it's really not showing enough light to be of any use as such. So that was the airport at dusk. Let's drop the lighting down to night time now. So 10 PM local time. As you can see, the lighting has come up a lot more, and this is how it looks at night. The green centerline lights are perfectly adequate, as are the blue airfield edge lights, and you can see they'll take you right in to the stand. They're looking to the threshold of runway 29. Down here the snow base and the fire station. And in the other direction there's the threshold of runway 11. This nice little area below us. It all looks really nice. So as you can see, this is the ramp at night time. Plenty of light. You can have no problems landing or taxiing here at night time. And the view, the sort of ambience, the way this looks, I like this airport a lot. It's very, very nicely done. And there's an overview looking from airside at the domestic terminal. Again, you can see through the glass what goings on in there. There's the control tower up at the left, all nicely lit. It's lovely. It's really nice. And there's an overview high-level shot from landside, domestic terminal here on the left, and the international terminal there. It's very pleasant. It really is quite nice. And there we are looking down the three-way, and you've got the various signs which they've done. Just great. The fact that they've done these and just added these in and make a nice touch, it just brings it to life. You could always argue that, yeah, okay, if you're going to do this, let's 3D model the road as well, which they haven't done. But I'm not complaining. It's great. I see no frame rate issues here or fluidity problems at all. This is the threshold of runway 11 here on the western side, and yeah, it's really nice. So let's bring up the dawn. Okay, 10 to 8 in the morning. There you can see the sun coming up here in the east side, and yeah, all very pleasant. And there you can see the sun giving that beautiful red glow on all of the buildings. Okay, 10 AM local time to wrap up the review, give you my thoughts. Do I like the scenery? Absolutely. Yeah, another really nice little Payware scenery. And actually not a bad price when you consider this is under $17 and it includes VAT or tax. A lovely little price, just under 13 quid UK. It's nice. It's not Pyrig Dev Company or Fly Tampa, but I, to be honest, didn't expect it to be. What you've got here is a nice little significant airport in a beautiful location with plenty of decent modelling, including people scattered here and there. Just shows you how you can really up the ambience when you add little people in the various points. They haven't gone mad, but you know, it's great. And for you pilots flying in here, what you expect to see when you park up on the ramp is very, very nice indeed. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. It's really, really good little airport, very well modelled, and the things that haven't been done really don't detract from the airport at all. I mean, there's options. You know, you could add more people. You could develop the international terminal inside. All sorts of things they could do to this, and you could 3D model the highway. But you know, it's great. The terminals are good. They've added signs over the highways. I love the changing signs. You've even got the petrol station on the other side, and it's a really model airport. I love it. It's very nice indeed. Thoroughly recommended, certainly at this price. It's just wonderful. So there you go, folks. Trabzon Airport in Turkey, Lima Tango Charlie Golf. A payware scenery by Scenery TR. This is version 1, the release version for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Downloads at 929 meg in the zip file, and it installs at just over 2 gigs. Currently available from Sim Market, priced at €14.99, which equates to roughly $16.26 US, or £12.81 UK. As ever, those prices are based on the euro and they include tax or VAT, which might be different depending on where you're buying this from. It's a thoroughly, really nice little airport. I have no hesitation in recommending it. It's really, really nice. So there you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you've been on the fence about whether to get this or not, yeah, no hesitation in recommending it. Great little airport in Turkey at a really good price. Somewhere different to visit on your travels. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so look out for my second review this week. Hopefully, we're going to go to Italy. And we're going to look at Trapani Birgi Airport. Very similar to this in the way it was modelled and the way it looks, but again, another nice little airport from a good developer. And also, I'm hoping, it's been a bit of a busy week for me, but I'm hoping to get a couple of videos up from the world tour, some landings and takeoffs, for you to have a look at as well. So there you go, folks. Thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed it. Happy to read the comments below. If you like what I do, by all means buy me a coffee. It's cheap. I'm a one-man band. Pretty much all of my resources go into doing these things for you. I don't get lots of scenery given to me free for review. Much of the scenery that I really want to review and show you guys, I purchase myself. So anything you can do to help will be much appreciated. So thanks for watching. You take care, guys. Have a good week. Looking forward to the weekend. Bye for now.